How do you decide the price of dinner? Yeah, how do you decide the price of dinner? It's not related to how much the growing the food costs or how much it costs to cook the food. Mm. What you don't want to do is to pay stupid prices for things because then you regret it subsequently. Those were the words of Sir Jim Ratcliffe on the price of Manchester United. Of course, I'm loosely paraphrasing. Yo, welcome to the Football Power Hour. Oh, so good to have you. Today, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what's the update right now. On how things are going with the Manchester United sale, Shout out to you for tuning in, by the way. Shout out to you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Of course, this happened also a few days ago. Shout out to Eric Ten Hag and Usain Bolt. And shout out to you for tuning in, man. It's the Football Power Hour. As I said, my name is Batona Papi. That's what you can call me. But we're going to go ahead and talk about how Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if you're a Manchester United fan, obviously you have to be excited about the times that are coming ahead because Manchester United is on the brink of new ownership. And guess what? Right now we have some updates, some things happening. It looks like there's a lot of positive news talking about or indicating that for sure the mighty Glazers are going to sell, because these guys are like those African politicians, that just don't want to leave. They don't want to leave a seat. They don't want to leave a political position. They just kind of just want to just stay there. and the main thing is it's time for them to go. And they said they're going to go, but they're like, oh, we're taking our time. I said I'm leaving, but at my damn time. That's how these guys are treating this sale situation. Matter of fact, let's look at how it's looking at right at this very moment. Remember last time we talked about this as a love triangle between. Oh man, should we draw it real quickly just for people that missed that lesson? It was the Jim, Jassim, and the Jewel love triangle. Jim, Jassim are the two suitors for Manchester United, and Jewel is that that high school lover that doesn't want to let go, And Manchester United has to pretty much just figure out what's the next move from this love triangle. But right now, that situation has evolved. It's not the triangle anymore. It's evolved. Matter of fact, we're going to look at this as because the way the Glazers are treating this, man, they're just extending the process. The current owners of Manchester United are extending this sale process to magnitudes that it doesn't need to be. I feel like the Chelsea sale took 48 hours, man. I feel like Roman was like, let me know as soon as the Cash App goes through. I'm in Ukraine. I'm not even going to come there. I'll tell you exactly where I left the keys for Stamford Bridge. That's how at least Roman and Abramovich, the sale for Chelsea feels like it went. But obviously Chelsea fan would probably have a more accurate timeline of how that evolved. But I feel like it was somewhere around March. We knew Chelsea was up for sale, and by May, Todd Bowley had acquired Chelsea for like 4.25 billion or something like that. But anyway, right now, let's talk about how the league this is pretty much turning to be a league. It's the Manchester United sale league standings. Just at this moment, we got Sheikh, Jassim. Shout out to you for tuning in, by the way. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I do this spatially a little bit better. Jassim, right? Sheikh Jassim. I feel like right now we're about to enter the next stage of talks. So they've had, you know, if this was a league, would say they've played two. They've at least had two major financial conversations, and Jassim has won two. This is one, and this is lost, and Jassim is undefeated, obviously drawn zero, and Jassim's points are a cool 6 points. Now in second place, we got Sir Jim Ratcliffe. All right. Sir Jim Rat got two matches played, two conversations played. I'd say maybe like the first one was a win, and then maybe like zero losses and then one draw, right? So that's 4 points for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And then three is the reluctant Glazer family members. Glazer fam. Matter of fact, we can call it Glazer FC, whatever. Um, two matches played with them, and the Glazers, they are very stubborn. These guys, apparently Julian Abraham, this is actually a real update. Julian Abraham were considering just in what the options would be if they only entertained the sale of a minority stake, which would mean that they would still stay in charge with more funding. And that would put them, right now, honestly, they haven't won, they haven't lost. I'd say they have two draws. So they're sitting at a cool 2 points. And we know that the Elliott group, I think they're out. Elliott FC, they're out. They've played two, lost. Everything. Matter of fact, no. Let's give them. They drew one. Nah, they lost all of them, bro. This is how the league standings are in terms of the potential owners for Manchester United. By the way, in case you're tuning in, thank you for doing so. It's the Football Power Hour, and this is how. Now, on a serious note, though, the what are they called? What's his name? Sheikh Jassim is about to actually they're about to submit a revised bid. And I believe it's around the areas of 5.5 billion euros, which is like close to $6 billion. So it's one of those things where each Glazer walks home with a billy. And that way they don't need to be splitting and making things complicated. And I feel like that's what needs to happen. But the main thing is, it feels like also when you look at what Jim Ratcliffe, let's read what Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually said. Let me not loosely paraphrase it as I did at the beginning of the stream. So Sir Jim, he was quoted on the sale of Manchester United. He said, unquote, "How do you decide the price of a painting? How do you decide the price of a house? It's not related to how much it costs to build or how much it costs to paint. What you don't want to do is to pay stupid prices for things because then you regret it subsequently." Off quote. I don't know what it sounds like to you, but to me, it's loud and clear that Sir Jim just said, "I'm broke, nigga." You see, look at this Jim right here. I'm broke. We've all had this moment. When you're thinking like, maybe you just somehow gonna just somehow you'll be the one to, make it through without having to, somehow there's like will overpowers what the financial reality is. But this time the financial reality, as Sir Jim just said, I'm broke. I am broke. When you're talking about the cost of paintings, well, what's selling a club right now is, brother, you're out here pontifying, and we need you to pay the money. You get the keys. Simple. I don't get why these guys are just making this such an elongated process. But I feel like, as I said, that those African politicians, where the meetings are so nice, and you want to attend the meetings because they have free food, a great lodging, because obviously you have to travel to like an exotic place somewhere, or outside the country somewhere, or a nice place somewhere, and it's all paid for, expense paid for, and that's beautiful. But that's ultimately not beneficial for everybody else that needs to be actually considered. So the good news is, with the Jassim bid, there's a lot of confidence. And matter of fact, Telefootball is the one that made me feel like Jassim said, please, please, can I have some extra sauce on the side? Because Jim said, our Jassim said, our capital investment will be, or a source actually said, our capital investment will be on top of what's paid for the club. This is a source by the Tele Football, and this source is apparently very close to the Qatar bid. So, it seems like the confidence is really, really high. And when you really want the thing, you go ahead and pay for the thing. It don't matter what costs, And ultimately, the fact that there's a little bit more transparency on the Jassim bid, it seems like that the Qataris are definitely gonna win, and I want to bring that Arab money. They have a very clear plan of, they want a new stadium. They want to invest in the youth academy. They want to, obviously upgrade the training ground facilities, and the men and women's team funding as well will significantly go up. And I think, it's one of those things where obviously some people would have been like very skeptical about, or being like, the conservative culture, whatever the media has painted about the Arabs, and how they view the world. This right now, this bid has just sort of cleaned itself up of it's stereotype proof. I mean, whether that including the women's team, because it's um, women's month, women's March Madness. Um, yeah, it's not Women's History Month, it's Women's Month, right? Women's Month, March. So whether that doing that, I don't know. It's a convenient thing, obviously, to say, but obviously I do not think that. I wanna give them the benefit of the doubt and say, if the funds are there, it's just a matter of what? I'm, splurging the funds to where they need, directing the resources to where we need them to. And I am all for that. We need to make sure that the Manchester United name goes back to what it was before, and it's about time that we have an owner that really, really cares about this. So I just wanted to say that it's exciting times, because many times, the sale didn't seem like it was going to happen, but it seems like it's imminent. And I speak for many of us who really are Manchester United fans, that in our collective memory, we pretty much remember just mostly Glazer ownership times, which started off and then went all the way down. It was just a downward trajectory, right? Like this. So it's one of those things where, when you actually now pause for a second and try and truly understand and appreciate the value and the power that Manchester United has, you actually sit down and be like, damn, this greatness is actually a lot stronger than I had imagined. So to have an owner that's going to prioritize being the best and making sure that we are the club that we are historically um, 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 you know, what we historically are is going to sort of manifest itself again and reincarnate itself through the leadership of Ten Hag. It's seeming like Jassim got that Man United DNA in them. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Big shout out to you for tuning in. It was the really, really, really just a quick brief update on how the league standings are looking right now on this Manchester United sale. So I just want to say to you, happy Wednesday. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. It's the Football Power Hour right there. You see it